We're learning more about the U.S. airstrikes in Iran. Let's go back to Jennifer Griffin with the latest. Jennifer?
Well, we've just learned from a senior U.S. defense official that the strikes are ongoing as we speak right now, and that some of the targets that we can confirm at this point are air defense systems inside Iran, as well as radar installations. The initial explosions that we've seen reported on X out of Iranian sources suggest that Sirik, which is a port city, as well as Bandar Abbas were among the targets. But what we can say at this point is that these airstrikes are ongoing. Flight trackers have seen about 8 KC-135 air refueling tankers above the Middle East over the Gulf. Presumably, they would be in position to help refuel these American warplanes.
For two questions, is this proportional? When you presented and introduced the segment, you talked about our response wanting to be proportional. Are you getting reports that this is one that? And two, are we going after where these drones might have come from? And do we get a sense if they're more?
Well, I think the problem with the drones is that they're mobile and they can be launched mobily. They do see them when they're launched, and I was told earlier today that they saw multiple drones being launched around the time that the Apache went down. In terms of proportion, so far, what we are seeing and hearing reported, if you're talking about air defenses, that would fit within the CENTCOM statement that these are defensive strikes and going after the radar. But it also could indicate that you would always take out the air defenses and radar installations before you had another wave of strikes, before you put American warplanes into any harm's way. So it's really unclear at this point, but what we can say is that the airstrikes targeting Iran are ongoing at this point, Harold.
Jennifer, thank you. Thank you for the update. Any other reactions to this, guys?
Well, it's interesting that they're describing them as self-defense strikes. Okay, so that probably preserves the ability for them to say, okay, well, it's proportional. And it's just, I feel that President Trump has been tested so much, his patience has been tested so much by the Iranians, who don't actually ever come to the table, who seem to be playing games. And our U.S. military is obviously extremely capable. I think it's incredible that we have had an unmanned boat, basically, go in and rescue those helicopter pilots, get them to safety. They're in stable condition. That is remarkable. And we'll see what the night brings. But if tomorrow we hear we're closer and we're almost to a deal, I think it'll be a little hard to take.
Does this set us back, Jesse, or not, in terms of trying to get a deal with the Iranians?
I don't know. I do know that the ceasefire is slowly collapsing after what we saw with the Israelis in Lebanon, and them exchanging fire with the Iranians, us telling them to stop, quit, and then the Houthis launching a missile into Israel. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of deteriorating. It's not shattered, so they're still negotiating, and they're negotiating pretty seriously. Witkoff was talking to the president the other day. I think we just received an offer. I'm hearing from Washington that we like what we're seeing, but I don't know how much closer it means to getting to that final deal.
Kennedy, any thoughts on this? Closing thoughts?
I'm with Dana on this. Like, I don't know how you claim that all of this is being held together. I'm incredibly hopeful that they will ultimately find peace and stability. But every time something new that happens that results in another incursion or defensive strike, whatever you want to call it, it only prolongs the situation. So I know we're not supposed to ask about timelines, but November's coming.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.